Imagine this. You're chasing your dream, pouring your heart into something you love. Then, in a single moment, a stranger destroys it all. That's exactly what happened to a young boy when a biker smashed his guitar in public. But here's the twist. Hollywood legend Johnny Depp was watching, and what he did next. It's a story you'll never forget. In this video, you'll discover how one act of cruelty turned into an unforgettable lesson in kindness. You'll learn how Johnny Depp, known for his iconic roles, showed the world what it truly means to be a hero. And you'll hear the lesser-known details of this incredible story that will leave you inspired. But that's not all. By the end of this video, you'll see why this moment became a symbol of hope, and why it's a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's always a chance of something extraordinary to happen. Welcome to Story Spot, where we bring you the most heartwarming, shocking, and inspiring stories from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community of storytellers. Before we talk about the dramatic turn of events, let's set the stage. Picture this, a bustling street, alive with the sounds of city life. Cars honking, people chatting, and the faint hum of music in the air. Among the crowd stands a young boy, no older than 14, with a guitar in his hands. He's not just any boy. He's a dreamer, a musician, someone who believes in the power of music to connect people. The boy's guitar isn't fancy. It's worn, maybe a little scratched, but to him, it's everything. It's his voice, his escape, and his dream of one day becoming a musician. He's playing a melody, something simple but heartfelt. His fingers move with confidence, and for a moment, the noise of the street fades into the background. A small crowd gathers, some smiling, others tossing coins into his open guitar case. It's a scene of hope, of a young artist taking his first steps toward his dream. But then, everything changes. Out of nowhere, a loud roar cuts through the air. A biker, dressed in leather and with a tough demeanor, pulls up to the curb. At first, it seems like it's just another passerby, maybe even someone who'll stop to listen. But no. Without warning, he strides toward the boy, his face unreadable. The crowd watches, unsure of what's about to happen. And then, in one swift, shocking moment, the biker grabs the boy's guitar. The boy freezes, his hand still hovering in the air as if it's trying to hold on to the music. But it's too late. The biker smashes the guitar against the ground. The sound is deafening, a mix of splintering wood and snapping strings. The boy's dream, his pride, his only guitar, lies broken at his feet. The crowd gasps. Some step back, others murmur in disbelief. The boy stands there, stunned, his eyes wide with shock. He looks down at the shattered guitar, then up at the biker, searching for an explanation, for some kind of reason. But the biker doesn't say a word. He doesn't apologize, doesn't even look sorry. He just turns around, gets back on his bike, and rides away, leaving the boy and the crowd in stunned silence. For the boy, it's more than just a broken guitar. It's a broken dream. His hands tremble as he picks up the pieces, trying to make sense of what just happened. The crowd begins to disperse, some shaking their heads, others whispering about the cruelty of the act. But no one steps forward to help. No one knows what to do. The boy sits there, alone, clutching the remains of his guitar. His eyes are filled with tears, but he doesn't cry. He just stares at the broken instrument, wondering how something so beautiful could be destroyed in an instant. The street, once filled with music and hope, now feels empty and cold. Little does the boy know, this moment of heartbreak is about to take an unexpected turn. Because someone was watching. Someone who understood the power of music, the pain of loss, and the importance of standing up for what's right. Someone who would change everything. Just when it seemed like the boy's day couldn't get any worse, fate decided to step in. Unbeknownst to him, someone extraordinary had been watching the entire scene unfold. Someone who didn't just see a broken guitar but recognized the broken spirit behind it. That someone was Johnny Depp. Yes, the Johnny Depp Hollywood icon, legendary actor. And, as it turns out, a man with a heart as big as his fame. He wasn't there for a movie shoot or a publicity stunt. He was just passing by, blending into the crowd like any ordinary person. But when he saw the biker's cruel act and the boy's devastated reaction, he couldn't just walk away. Johnny Depp has always been known for his unique personality, his love for music, and his deep appreciation for artistry. He's not just an actor, he's a musician himself, playing guitar in his band, Hollywood Vampires. So, when he saw the boy's guitar smashed to pieces, it struck a chord with him, literally and figuratively. He knew what that guitar meant to the boy. He understood the pain of seeing something you loved destroyed. As the crowd began to thin, Johnny made his way toward the boy. At first, no one recognized him. Dressed casually, with a hat and sunglasses, he looked like just another concerned bystander. But as he got closer, his presence became impossible to ignore. There was something about the way he carried himself, calm, confident, and full of quiet authority. The boy, still sitting on the ground with a broken guitar in his hands, looked up as Johnny approached. He didn't know who this man was, but there was something in his eyes that felt reassuring. Johnny knelt down beside him, his voice soft but steady. "Hey, kid," he said, "I saw what happened. Are you okay?" The boy shook his head, his voice trembling as he tried to explain. "It's my guitar. It's all I have. I don't know what to do." Johnny listened intently, his expression a mix of empathy and determination. He didn't offer empty words of comfort or promises he couldn't keep. Instead, he did something unexpected. He asked the boy to wait right there. "Stay here," Johnny said, standing up. "I'll be back." The boy watched as Johnny walked away, disappearing into the crowd. For a moment, he wondered if the man was just another stranger who'd offer sympathy but no real help. But something about the way Johnny spoke made him believe otherwise. There was a spark of hope, faint but undeniable. Meanwhile, whispers began to spread through the crowd. People started to realize who the mysterious man was. "Was that Johnny Depp?" someone asked. "It can't be, can it?" The buzz grew louder, but Johnny was already gone, focused on what he needed to do. Minutes felt like hours as the boy waited, clutching the pieces of his guitar. He didn't know what to expect. Would this man really come back? And even if he did, what could he possibly do to fix this? A broken guitar wasn't something you could just glue back together. But then Johnny returned, and he wasn't alone. In his hands was a brand new guitar, a beautiful, shiny instrument that looked like it belonged on a stage. The boy's eyes widened in disbelief. Was this real? Was this man really giving him a new guitar? Johnny handed the guitar to the boy, a small smile playing on his lips. "Hey," he said, "this one's for you." The boy was speechless. He reached out, his hand shaking as he took the guitar. It felt solid, real, and so much more than he could have ever imagined. He looked up at Johnny, tears welling in his eyes. I don't know what to say," the boy stammered. Johnny shrugged, his tone light but sincere. "Just keep playing. Don't let anyone stop you." The crowd, now fully aware of who Johnny was, erupted into applause. Some people pulled out their phones, capturing the moment, while others simply stood there, moved by what they had just witnessed. But for Johnny, it wasn't about the attention or the cameras. It was about doing the right thing, about showing kindness when it mattered most. As the boy strummed the first chord on his new guitar, the street once again filled with music. But this time, it wasn't just any melody. It was a song of hope, resilience, and the power of unexpected kindness. When Johnny Depp handed the boy the new guitar, it wasn't just an act of generosity. It was a moment that carried a deeper meaning. For Johnny, this wasn't about being a celebrity or making headlines. It was about showing the boy, and everyone watching, that kindness can change lives. The guitar itself was stunning, sleek, polished, and clearly of high quality. It was a kind of instrument most aspiring musicians could only dream of owning. But for the boy, it wasn't just about the material value. It was about what the guitar represented, a second chance, a reminder that even when things seem hopeless, there are people who care enough to make a difference. As the boy held the guitar, his initial shock gave way to overwhelming gratitude. He looked up at Johnny, his eyes filled with tears, and managed to whisper, "Thank you." It was a simple phrase, but it carried the weight of everything he was feeling: relief, joy, and a renewed sense of hope. Johnny, ever humble, didn't make a big speech or act like a hero. Instead, he offered a few quiet words of encouragement. "Keep playing," he said. "Don't let anyone or anything stop you. Music is powerful. It's your voice. Use it." Those words struck a chord with the boy. He realized that this wasn't just about replacing a broken guitar. It was about believing in himself and his dreams, no matter what obstacles came his way. Johnny's gesture was a lesson in resilience, a reminder that setbacks don't define you, it's how you respond to them that matters. The crowd, now fully aware of what was happening, watched in awe. Some people clapped, others cheered, and a few even wiped away tears. It was a rare moment of pure, unfiltered humanity, a reminder that even in a world that often feels cold and indifferent, there's still room for compassion. For Johnny, this wasn't an isolated act of kindness. Throughout his life, he's shown a deep appreciation for music and art, often using his platform to support aspiring artists. He understands the struggles of chasing a dream, and he knows how much a small act of encouragement can mean to someone who's just starting out. As the boy strummed the first few notes on his new guitar, the street once again came alive with music. But this time, it felt different. The melody was richer, more vibrant, as if the guitar itself was infused with the hope and determination that Johnny had inspired. The boy played with a passion that was impossible to ignore, his fingers moving confidently over the strings. People stopped to listen, drawn in by the raw emotion of the moment. Some dropped money into the boy's guitar case, while others simply stood there, soaking in the music. It was a powerful reminder of the universal language of art, how it can bring people together, heal wounds, and inspire change. For the boy, this was more than just a new guitar. It was a turning point. He realized that he wasn't alone in his journey. There were people out there, strangers, even, who believed in him and wanted to see him succeed. Johnny's kindness had reignited his passion, giving him the courage to keep chasing his dream, no matter how tough the road ahead might be. As Johnny walked away, blending back into the crowd, the boy continued to play. His music filled the air, a testament to the power of second chances and the impact of a single act of kindness. And though Johnny was gone, his lesson lingered, that no matter who you are or where you come from, you have the power to make a difference in someone's life. The boy didn't know if he'd ever see Johnny Depp again, but he knew one thing for sure. He'd never forget what had happened that day. It wasn't just about the guitar. It was about the hope it represented, the belief that good people still exist, and a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's always a chance of something beautiful to emerge. When we hear stories like this, it's easy to focus on the surface-level details, a broken guitar, a Hollywood star, and a heartwarming gesture. But if we look closer, there's a much deeper message here, one that goes beyond the headlines and the viral moments. It's a reminder of the power of kindness, the impact of small actions, and the importance of simply being human. Johnny Depp didn't have to step in that day. He could have walked away, like so many others did. He could have assumed someone else would help, or that the boy would figure it out on his own. But he didn't. He chose to act, not because he had to, but because it was the right thing to do. And in doing so, he showed us all what true kindness looks like. It's easy to think that acts of kindness have to be grand or expensive to matter. Buying a new guitar for a stranger? That's certainly generous. But the truth is, kindness doesn't have to come with a price tag. It's not about how much you give, it's about the intention behind it. A kind word, a helping hand, or even just taking the time to listen can make a world of difference to someone who's struggling. Think about it. How many times have we walked past someone in need, telling ourselves it's not our problem? How often do we assume that someone else will step up, so we don't have to? Johnny Depp's actions challenge us to rethink that mindset. They remind us that we all have the power to make a difference, no matter who we are or what we have. This story also highlights the importance of empathy, of putting ourselves in someone else's shoes and understanding their pain. Johnny didn't just see a broken guitar. He saw a broken dream. He recognized a boy's passion, his vulnerability, and his need for support. And because he took the time to truly see the boy, his act of kindness carried so much more weight. But let's not forget the boy's role in this story. His resilience, his determination to keep playing even after his guitar was destroyed, is just as inspiring as Johnny's generosity. It's a reminder that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. The boy could have given up that day. He could have walked away, convinced that the world was against him. But he didn't. He stayed, he hoped, and he kept believing in his dream. So, what can we learn from all of this? For starters, it's a call to action, a reminder that we all have the power to be someone's Johnny Depp. You don't need to be a Hollywood star or have a lot of money to make a difference. Sometimes, the smallest gestures can have the biggest impact. A smile, a kind word, or a moment of your time can change someone's day, or even their life. It's also a reminder to never underestimate the power of human connection. In a world that often feels divided, stories like this show us that we're more alike than we are different. We all experience pain, loss, and disappointment. But we also have a capacity for kindness, compassion, and hope. And when we choose to act on those qualities, we create ripples that can spread far beyond what we can see. Finally, this story challenges us to rethink what it means to be successful. Johnny Depp is one of the most famous actors in the world. But in this moment, it wasn't his fame or his talent that mattered. It was his humanity. It was his willingness to step outside of himself and do something kind for someone else. And that's a lesson we can all take to heart. At the end of the day, it's not about how much we have or how much we achieve. It's about how we treat others, how we show up in the world, and how we use whatever we have to make a difference. Because, as Johnny Depp showed us, sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply be human. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs a little hope today. Because stories like this remind us that even in the darkest moments, there's always a chance for light to break through. And remember, you never know how your actions, big or small, might change someone's life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Stories like this deserve to be heard, and your support helps us bring more inspiring content to you. And if you're new here, welcome to StorySpot. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of storytellers. Together, let's keep spreading hope, one story at a time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.